Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever stared at a blank page, trying to write something in French, and your mind just goes blank? We've all been there. Whether it's just a simple email, a quick message to a friend, or, oh man, a nerve-wracking exam, writing can feel like this massive hurdle. Well, today we're going to change all that. Yeah, this is what I like to call the blank page problem. It's that moment you have to write something in French and your brain just stops, right? All that vocabulary you spent hours learning, poof, it's gone. And suddenly it feels like you're staring up at this huge, intimidating mountain. You know what I'm talking about, right? That little blinking cursor on the screen just taunting you, waiting for words that just refuse to come out. And the frustrating part is you know the vocabulary. You've studied the grammar, but putting it all together into a sentence that actually makes sense, it can feel impossible. But what if I told you there's a super simple secret to beat this every single time? Okay, get ready. This is your secret writing weapon. Seriously. It's one simple, super powerful rule that's going to give you the confidence to tackle pretty much any basic writing task you'll ever face in French. So here's the thing. We often think the solution is to learn more words, right? Or more complicated phrases. But the real key to clear, confident writing? It's not about having a huge vocabulary. It's all about having a simple, reliable structure that you can just fall back on every single time. And here it is. I call it the 3-part golden rule. Think about it. Every simple piece of writing, an email, a postcard, even an exam answer, can be built on this foundation. You've got an introduction, the main content, and an ending. Bam! Suddenly, you're not staring at a blank page anymore. You have a roadmap. It's really that simple. Let's see how it works in the real world. All right, enough theory, right? Let's actually put this rule to the test. We're going to take it out into the wild and see how it holds up in some real-life situations. So, first up, a super common scenario, writing a formal email. Like writing to a teacher, or maybe a hotel you want to book, or some kind of office. You've got to be clear, you've got to be polite, and you need to get straight to the point. Okay, let's take a look at a classic formal email. It starts with Je vous écris pour demander des informations. I'm writing to ask for information. But pay close attention to that key phrase, Pourriez-vous. That little phrase instantly sets a polite, formal tone. That's exactly what we're going for. All right, now let's break this down using our 3-part rule. Look how it fits perfectly. The intro, Bonjour madame, je vous écris pour, gets right to it. The main content, Pourriez-vous me dire, asking the important questions. And then the ending, Merci beaucoup, Cordialement, a classic, super polite closing. See? It's a perfect fit for our structure. Okay, awesome. Now let's totally flip the script. We're going from a stuffy, formal email to something completely casual, like a postcard you'd send to a friend from vacation. The tone is going to change for sure, but will the structure? Okay, so here's our postcard. And right away, you can just feel the difference, can't you? It's friendly, it's relaxed, it's sharing fun little details. And check out the language, salut, instead of bonjour, and that warm closing, bientôt. It's these tiny word choices that completely transform the tone. And what happens when we apply our rule? Would you look at that? It's the exact same structure. The introduction, Salut, je suis en vacances à Nice, it sets the scene. The main content shares all the fun stuff about the weather and the food. And the ending, à bientôt, is just a friendly sign-off. The situation is totally different, but that golden rule, it still works perfectly. Seeing them side by side like this makes it all so clear. The structure doesn't change, but the vocabulary is what signals the tone. Bonjour madame turns into salut. That polite pourriez-vous becomes a simple direct statement, and a formal cordialement becomes a friendly à bientôt. If you can master these small changes, you've mastered the tone. All right, now let's take our secret weapon to the place where things get really stressful, a timed writing exam, like the DELF A2. This is where having a solid structure isn't just helpful, it is absolutely essential. So here's the typical setup. You get a short message, maybe an invite from a friend, and your job is to write a reply, usually around 60 to 80 words. And the number one most important thing is you have to directly answer every single prompt they give you. So here's the trick. Instead of panicking about writing 80 words, you turn the prompt into a simple checklist. For this one, you just need to do 3 things. 1, say if you can come or not. 2, explain why. And 3, ask 1 question. All of a sudden, it's not about writing this big, scary paragraph. It's just about ticking 3 little boxes. Way less intimidating, right? Okay, now here is a really solid model answer. It hits the word count, sounds natural, sounds friendly. But the big question is, does it complete the mission? Does it tick every single box on our checklist? Let's find out. Let's break it down. After a nice simple intro, check out how the entire checklist gets handled right there in the main content section.
Je voudrais venir, mais je travaille.
Boom. That's the first 2 items on the list done. Tu peux me dire l'adresse? And there's the third one. The 3-part structure is like the box, and the checklist is what you put inside. This is exactly what the examiners are looking for. So there you have it. You now have a simple, repeatable game plan for any basic French writing task. That fear of the blank page, it's gone. 'Cause for you, the page is never really blank again. Now, it's your turn to go use it. All right, before you go, let's do a super quick recap of the most important takeaways. Number 1, every simple text has 3 parts: intro, main, and ending. Got it? Number 2, your word choice is everything for setting a formal or informal tone. And number 3, this 3-part structure is your golden ticket to passing that A2 exam. You know, the best way to make this really sink in is to use it right away. So here's a little challenge for you. Write a short, formal email to a French teacher. Just introduce yourself, ask 2 simple questions, and use a polite ending. Go on, put that 3-part structure to work right now.
And that just about does it for this explainer. You are no longer staring at a blank page. You've got a plan, you've got a structure, and you have a secret weapon. So my final question for you is this. What's the first thing you're going to write?